Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is DramaSydETV, and I am DramaSyd. As I said, I have went through a composition book of all of the requests that have been, well, not all of them, because I'm still going through all of the requests, all of the things that you have requested that have not been done on the channel. Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant, live at Farm 8. Now, by the sheer length of this, I'm very interested in hearing what I'm about to hear because I've never heard the song at all. I don't even recall hearing Arlo Guthrie. It's been a while, if I have. It's been years, so it's almost like I haven't heard him before. Now, as it has been on this channel and my other channel, I've always done live reactions, and this is no different. But I am going to start not only doing the live, but later on you'll get another reaction from the studio version. A lot of people are telling me, and it was the case with Kentucky Rain. I had done the so-called live version of that, which wasn't very good. And so I went later and I did the studio version, which was head and shoulders above. So we're going to do this live Alice's Restaurant. But I'm not going to make my final declaration about any kind of song anymore when I do a live if I haven't heard the studio version. So from now on, you get both the studio and the live version when it can be done that way. Right now, like I said, Alice's Restaurant, live at Farm 8, 2005. I probably already talked too long, but I just had to make that clarification. Let's go. Can we? Can we go now? Let's go. Well, tell me when to go. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arlo Guthrie.
This song's called Alice's Restaurant, about Alice and the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant was never the name of a restaurant. It was always just the name of the song, which is why I still call it Alice's Restaurant.
Okay. So it wasn't really a restaurant. Actually, when he first said Alice's Restaurant, I was thinking about Mel's Diner. Remember? Okay, it's my age here. So it wasn't really a restaurant. I'm so disappointed. I was looking for some Kiss My Grits type of thing.
Called Alice's Restaurant, about Alice and the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant was never the name of a restaurant. It was always just the name of the song, which is why I still call it Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Well, you know, Farm 8 might have started about 20 years ago, but it was 40 Thanksgivings ago. 40 years ago on Thanksgiving, when my friend and I decided to go up and visit Alice at the restaurant. But Alice didn't used to live in a restaurant. She lived in the church nearby the restaurant, in the bell tower, with her husband Ray and Facha the dog. And living in the bell tower like that, they used to have a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be. And seeing as how they took out all of the pews and having all that room, they decided that they didn't have to take out their garbage for a long time. We got up there, found the place was filled with garbage, and we decided it'd be a friendly gesture for us to take the garbage down to the town dump. So we took the half a ton of garbage, put it in the back of a red VW microbus, took shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, and headed on toward the town dump. We got there, and there was a sign, a chain across the road saying, "Closed on Thanksgiving." And we had never heard of a dump being closed on Thanksgiving before. So with tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset looking for another place to put the garbage. And we didn't find one till we come to a side road. And off of the side road, there was a 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff, there was another pile of garbage. And we decided that one big pile would be better than two little ones. Rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down. That's what we did. Drove back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep and didn't get up until the next morning when we got a phone call from Officer Obi. He said, "Kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half a ton of garbage. Just wanted to know if you had any information about it." And I said, "Yes, sir, Officer Obi. I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope under that garbage." It was after talking to Obi for about 45 minutes on the telephone that we finally arrived at the truth of the matter. And Obi said we had to go down and pick up the garbage. We also had to go down and talk to him at the police officer station. Now, friends, there was only one of two things that Obi could have done at the police officer station. And the first thing was he could have given us a medal for being so brave and honest over the telephone, which wasn't very likely, and we didn't expect it. And of course, the other possibility was that he could have bawled us out and told us never to be seen driving garbage around the vicinity again.
This is totally not where I thought we were going with this. No, we're clearly not even at a restaurant at all. I mean, he told us that it really didn't exist. It was just a song. But for some reason, I was still looking for the restaurant. I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking about eating something. Maybe I'm just hungry. I don't know. But that was quickly removed by our trip to the dump. Let's continue. I feel like I'm on an episode of Dukes of Hazzard.
Which is what we expected. But when we got to the police officer station, there was a third possibility that we hadn't counted on, and we was both immediately arrested. Handcuffed. And I said, "Obi, I don't think I can pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on." He said, "Shut up, kid. Get in the back of the patrol car." And we sat in the back of the patrol car and drove to the, quote, "scene of the crime," unquote. Now, friends, I want to tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this was happening. They got 3 stop signs, 2 police officers, and 1 police car. But when we got to the scene of the crime, there was 5 police officers and 3 police cars, being the biggest crime of the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to get in the newspaper story about it. And they was using up all kinds of cop equipment they had hanging around the police officer station. They was taking plaster tire tracks, footprints, dog-smelling prints, and they took 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. They took pictures of the approach, the getaway, the northwest corner and the southwest corner, and that's not to mention the aerial photography. And it was after the ordeal, we went back to the jail, and Obi said he was going to put us in a cell. He said, "Kid, I'm going to put you in a cell. Give me your wallet and your belt." And I said, "Obi, I can understand you want my wallet, so I don't have any money to spend in the cell. But what do you want my belt for?" He said, "Kid, we don't want any hangings." And I said, "Obi, did you think I was going to hang myself for littering?" Obi said he was making sure, and friends, Obi was, 'cause he took out the toilet seat so I couldn't hit myself over the head and drown. Took out the toilet paper so I couldn't bend the bars, roll the toilet paper out the window, slide down the roll, have an escape and get away. No.
That's rather ambitious.
Bend the bars, roll the toilet paper out the window, slide down the roll, have an escape and get away. Obi was making sure, all right, and it was about 4 or 5 hours later that Alice, remember Alice? This is still the song about Alice, and she come by, and And with a few nasty words to Obie on the side, she bailed us out of jail and we went back to the church. Had Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat. Went to sleep and didn't get up until the next morning when we all had to go to court. We walked in, sat down. Obie come in with the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and the paragraph on the back of each one, explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. And he sat down. A man come in. He said, "All rise," and we stood up. And Obie stood up with the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows. And the judge walked in with a CNI dog. He sat down, we sat down. Obie looked at the CNI dog. And then at the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows, and looked at the CNI dog. And Obie began to cry, because Obie come to the realization that this was a typical case of American blind justice, and there was nothing he was gonna do about it. But it didn't matter, because we was fined $25 and had to pick up the garbage in the snow. Of course, that's not what I come to talk about this afternoon. Thought I'd talk a little bit about the draft. Now, some people say that's just from years ago, but tell that to the guys who've been called up again. They used to have a building over in New York City on Whitehall Street. And that's where you used to have to go in, get injected, inspected, detected, infected, neglected, and selected. And I remember I had to go in there one morning a long time ago for my physical examination. I got good and drunk the night before, because I wanted to feel my best when I went in that morning.
This reminds me of a long car trip with somebody that you really didn't want to go with you, but because they had, snaps on the petrol, gas money, you let them tag along, and they didn't shut the hell up the whole trip. It was like from one end of the spectrum to the other. You don't know where the story began or where it ended. Listen, I understand it's a song, and Alice's Restaurant was just a thing to get us started, but Lord have mercy, where are we going right now? I don't know, but I guess I shall continue and find out.
I mean, I wanted to feel like, I wanted to look, I wanted to be like the all-American kid. And when I went in that morning, I was hung down, I was brung down, I was hung up, I was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking things. I walked in and I sat down. They gave me a piece of paper, said, "Kid, see the psychiatrist, room 604. I went in there. I said, "Shrink, I want to kill. I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth, eat dead, burnt bodies. Kill, kill." And I started jumping up and down, yelling, "Kill, kill." And he started jumping up and down with me, and we was both jumping up and down, yelling, "Kill, kill, kill, kill," till the sergeant come over, pinned a medal on me, sent me down the hall, said, "You're our boy." I didn't feel real good about it, but I proceeded on down the hall, getting more injections, inspections, and all kinds of stuff that they was doing to me at the thing there. And I was there for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. I was there for a long time, going through all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things, till I finally come to see the very last man. I walked up, I said, "What do you want to see me about?" He said, "Kid, we only have one more question. Have you ever been arrested?" And I told him the story of the Alice's Restaurant massacre with 5-part harmony, full orchestration. He stopped me again, he said, "Kid, did you go to court?" And I told him the story of the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows. He stopped me again. He said, "Kid, I want you to go over, sit down on that bench that says Group W." I went over there, Group W. Group W was where they used to put you if you might not have been moral enough to join the Army after committing your special crime. There was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking people on the bench. I mean, there was mother rapers and father stabbers and father rapers. There was father rapers sitting there on the bench next to me. I mean, these was mean, nasty, ugly, horrible, crime-fighting guys. And the meanest, ugliest, nastiest one, the meanest father raper of them all, was coming over to me, and he sat down next to me and said, "Kid, what'd you get?" I said, "I didn't get nothing. I had to pay $25 and pick up the garbage." He said, "Kid, what was you arrested for?" And I said, "Littering." And they all moved away from me on the bench there. Until I said, "And creating a nuisance." And then they all come back and shook my hand. And we had a great time on the bench, talking about crime, mother stabbing, father raping, who's smoking cigarettes and all kinds of stuff, having a good time. Till the sergeant come over, had some paper in his hand. He held it up. He went like this. He said, "Kid, this piece of paper got 37 words for the M says one on time, the crime, detail the crime. English say, pretend tune about the crime. The rest of the officer's name, kind of thing gotta say." And he talked for 45 minutes, but nobody understood a word he said. But we had fun filling out the forms and playing with the pencils on the bench there. And I wrote down the massacre like I was supposed to, and I put down my pencil, turned over the piece of paper, and there on the other side of that piece of paper, in the middle of the other side, away from everything else on the other side, underlined and capitalized, read the following words: "Kid, have you rehabilitated yourself?" I went over to the sergeant. I said, "Sergeant, you got a lot of gall to ask me if I've rehabilitated myself. I mean, I'm sitting here on the Group W. I'm sitting here on the Group W bench because you want to know if I'm moral enough to join the army, burn women, kids, houses, children, villages after being a litter bug." He said, "Kid, we don't like your kind. We're going to send your fingerprints off to Washington. And friends, somewhere in Washington, enshrined in a little folder, is a study in black and white of my fingerprints. They're still there. The only reason I'm singing you the song this afternoon is because you may know somebody in a similar situation sometime. Even some of you could be in something like this sometime sooner than you're sitting here thinking about right now. And if you ever find yourself in something like that and you don't know what to do, well, there may be only one thing you can do, and that's to walk in wherever you're supposed to be. I mean, you go in, you sit down, you wait your turn, and when you get a chance, you go something like this. You walk in, you say, "Oh, shrink, you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant," and walk out. Imagine one person, even today, walking in singing some Alice's restaurant, walking out. Friends are gonna say, "Hey, that guy's 40 years too late. Get that guy out of here." Or imagine two of them walking hand in hand, singing in harmony. I don't know what the policy is, but I guess if you tell them, you ain't going. So imagine three of them. They might think of some kind of organization or something. Or maybe 50 people a day, going in, singing some Alice's restaurant, walking out. Friends, they might think it's a movement, even though most of them be too young to know what a movement was. But that's what it was. It was the Alice's Restaurant Anti-Massacre Movement. That's what it was, that's what it is, and that's what it's always gonna be. And all you've got to do to join is to help me sing it as it comes around again on the guitar. With feeling. We're just waiting for it to come around here. Alright. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Surrounded by just a half a mile from the railroad track. No. Now I know there's a lot of good music here and stuff today, and I know that, well, after after all this time, if you want to sing along, you can't just start singing at the end or something. If you want to end war and stuff, you got to learn to sing loud all the time so people can hear you. Last chance, here we go. You can get anything you want. That's good. Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want.
Okay, am I the only one that has a problem with the guy who clearly is singing like way behind everybody else right there? Let's take a look at that again. That was fabulous.
No. Now, I know there's a lot of good music here and stuff today, and I know that, well, after all this time, if you want to sing along, you can't just start singing at the end or something. If you want to end war and stuff, you got to learn to sing loud all the time so people can hear you. Last chance, here we go. You can get anything you want. That's good. Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in this roundabout, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. At Alice's Restaurant. Thank you. God bless Farm Aid.
Okay, I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you that's my favorite song ever of all time. However, Arlo Guthrie is a great storyteller. He writes stuff that, if you are invested in the beginning, it can keep your attention. If you do not invest yourself, I could see where you would totally like drift off or whatever. I was totally looking for something, even though it was just a song, to like really, really tie in back to the whole Alice's Restaurant thing. We went on this wild goose chase story about littering and, going to jail for it and, determining as we sit in the group whether or not we're going to be drafted. And it it was a lot of different layers. I still don't really understand the point of it, but yet it was very creative and I didn't mind watching it at all. Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. I don't know. I guess I will check out the studio version, but I don't know. DramaSydETV. Till next time. Thanks for watching.